There is a simple way that you can drop the temperature of your home by up to 25 degrees Fahrenheit instantly. It costs just a few basic clay pots and the small trickle of recirculating water to function. This is a cooling system that outperforms modern air conditioning in extreme heat conditions. It consumes 80% less energy and requires no toxic chemical refrigerants at all. No complex compressors or expensive electronic circuit boards are needed for this system to run smoothly. While the $100 billion HVAC industry sells us expensive plastic boxes every single year, devices that cost thousands to install and hundreds a month in electricity just to stay alive, this terracotta cooling technology remains virtually unknown to most of the modern world today. What is the essence of this system, and why aren't we using such a cheap and effective solution? To understand the brilliance of this system, we must look at the arid plateaus of ancient Persia. Imagine the sun-drenched courtyards of ancient Egypt thousands of years ago, where survival was the priority. In these harsh landscapes, keeping a space cool was not about comfort, but a biological necessity. Ancient builders faced a survival crisis when ambient temperatures regularly exceeded 113 degrees. The solution they found was not a machine, but a brilliant combination of material and nature. They observed that unglazed porous earthenware jars, when filled with water, cooled the breeze passing through them. This phenomenon not only kept the water inside cold, but also lowered the temperature of the surrounding air. This revelation led to the birth of the mashrabiyah in the Middle East and the jali in India as masterpieces. These are ornate, perforated screens that use the physical properties of earth and wind to cool entire palaces. This technology existed and served humanity long before the advent of the first modern electrical grid. By 400 BC, the Persians had scaled this logic into massive structures known as yakchals. These were massive mud-brick domes reaching 59 feet into the clear blue sky. These structures were actually sophisticated refrigerators using subterranean pools and natural wind catchers. They were capable of manufacturing and preserving ice in the middle of a blistering desert summer heat. The combination of smart architecture and local materials created technical miracles we are still learning from. This technology eventually migrated to the Indian subcontinent and was expanded upon by Mughal emperors. During the 16th and 17th centuries, Mughal engineers designed unique water houses called Abdar Khana. These were not mere storage rooms, but active thermal systems utilizing sandstone properties. Emperor Akbar famously organized a relay system to transport ice from the Himalayas to the Delhi plains. But it was the domestic production using shallow clay pans that proved the power of natural materials. These historical precedents established that cooling with mud and water is not a strange alternative idea. It is the rediscovery of a resilient technological heritage marginalized by the chemical refrigerant industry. The rise of modern air conditioning in the 20th century made us forget these sustainable solutions. But in 2017, a turning point arrived with the invention of the beehive terracotta cooler. Monish Siriparapu, an architect in New Delhi, faced a heat crisis at a local electronics factory. The exhaust from a massive generator was creating a 50-degree heat island that AC could not touch. He realized that the ancient geometry of the beehive could maximize surface area in a small footprint. By combining beehive geometry with traditional claycraft, he solved a modern industrial problem. The beehive cooler works because of a single law of physics that anyone can easily understand. When water evaporates, it must consume thermal energy to change from a liquid to a gaseous state. In this system, that heat is stripped directly from the hot air moving through the porous clay tubes. This process is known as evaporative cooling, a natural mechanism that is both powerful and efficient. To understand how it truly works, you have to look deep into the microstructure of unglazed terracotta. Raw terracotta is a porous material, filled with millions of microscopic channels invisible to the naked eye. When the stack is wetted, these channels act like a network of tiny capillary pipes, moving water efficiently. They pull water from the reservoir and move it through the entire body of the clay until it is saturated. This capillary action ensures that the cooler surface is always covered in a thin, consistent film of moisture. The beehive geometry is the key factor transforming a wet pot into a high-performance cooling engine. If you just used a flat wall, the air would bounce off the surface without losing much heat energy. But by stacking hundreds of terracotta tubes into a honeycomb, you create an immense surface area. The hot outside air being pulled into these tubes is forced into a tight spinning motion immediately. This turbulence ensures that every molecule of air is forced to strike the wet walls of the clay. At the moment of impact, the water on the clay surface steals the thermal energy from the air to evaporate. But there is another clever phenomenon this design utilizes called the Venturi effect in physics. Because the air is being squeezed into narrow openings, its velocity increases significantly throughout the tubes. This faster moving air causes the water to evaporate much more quickly than in normal conditions. This rapid evaporation, in turn, drops the temperature of the air even further and more effectively. By the time the air reaches the other side of the honeycomb stack, it has been stripped of heat. It arrives in the room as a dense, chilled breeze that can be up to 27 degrees colder. In that electronics factory in Noida, this clay stack achieved what traditional mechanical cooling could not. It dropped the temperature from a blistering 122 degrees down to a manageable 97. But the success of the system isn't just measured by the numbers on a thermometer. Unlike a standard air conditioner, which strips moisture from the air and leaves it feeling dry and stale, the beehive cooler filters the air and adds a natural, gentle humidity that feels incredibly refreshing. This process creates a unique phenomenon known as petrichor in various scientific studies. It is the distinct, earthy scent produced when rain falls on dry soil after a long period of drought. And this isn't just a pleasant side effect. It has a documented psychological impact on the human brain. When we smell petrichor, our perception of heat drops even further than the sensors suggest. It provides a deep sense of relief that a plastic chemical unit simply cannot replicate for us. The energy data from the Noida project revealed the true scale of this incredible operating efficiency. To cool an industrial space of that size, a conventional mechanical air conditioning system would consume massive electricity. The beehive system, however, performed the same task with a measured 80% reduction in energy. The entire installation ran on less than 0.63 units of energy per hour. It provided industrial-strength cooling for less than the cost of running a few household light bulbs. In a world of rising energy costs and an unreliable electrical grid, this is a powerful solution. This project proved that we can achieve modern comfort while bypassing the expensive grid-dependent systems. But if this technology was so good, why isn't it the standard for every home in the world? The most obvious reason is that it isn't an effective solution for every single climate. Evaporative cooling is much less effective in humid climates because high ambient moisture limits evaporation. High humidity prevents the water from turning into gas, effectively reducing the overall cooling performance. Or in climates that have extreme temperature fluctuations across both summer and winter seasons. A permanent open structure design like this will require very clever solutions to reduce winter heat loss. In these places, mechanical heating systems are often a more logical and practical choice for residents. However, there are plenty of homes located within the Sunbelt where the beehive structure would be powerful. For these homes, the barrier is less about stability and more about how our economy is structured. The global cooling market is dominated by a handful of massive corporations that rely on specific models. They rely on a cycle of high-margin sales and planned obsolescence to maintain their profits. An air conditioner is a complex machine with hundreds of moving parts, designed to be serviced annually. They are often designed to be replaced entirely every 10 to 15 years of continuous operation. There is no recurring revenue in a stack of clay pots that can last for half a century. You cannot sell someone a technology that they can build themselves from the earth beneath their feet. So the industry simply ignores it and continues to promote energy-hungry products to the mass market. In developed countries, this system is safeguarded by our very rigid and outdated building codes. For the last 50 years, American homes have been designed as airtight, plastic-wrapped boxes. Regulations are written around the sealed envelope model, which requires mechanical ventilation for breathable air. The beehive cooler, on the other hand, is a breathing system requiring constant exchange with the outside. Because it doesn't fit into the standardized efficiency ratings, it is often legally excluded from residences. Before the first brick is even laid, developers and landlords have already rejected the alternative system. Landlords have little interest in solutions like this, as they prioritize low initial installation costs. They will often just choose the cheapest cooling system to install, which is the standard electric AC unit. Because they are the ones paying the monthly utility bills, the tenant bears the cost of electricity. The tenant bears the cost of the electricity, while the landlord avoids the effort of integrating systems. We are stuck with a technology that is expensive to run and bad for the planet every single day. Not because it is the best solution, but because it is the most profitable or convenient one for sellers. But the good news is that you can reclaim this technology today without waiting for anyone. You don't have to wait for a commercial product to reach your local big box store at all. Because the physics of the beehive cooler are open source and available for the entire world, the barrier to entry for this technology is remarkably low for any maker or homeowner today. If you want to build a functional unit this weekend, the most accessible route is simple. The most accessible route for most people is the common flower pot method of construction. You must source high-quality unglazed terracotta to ensure the maximum cooling efficiency possible. You can use specialized clay pipes or standard garden pots found at any local nursery nearby. The unglazed property is vital and absolutely necessary for the success of the cooling system. If the clay is fired with a decorative sheen, the microscopic pores are completely sealed off. In that case, water cannot migrate to the surface to facilitate the vital cooling process properly. To assemble your cooling stack, you arrange these pots in a tight honeycomb pattern together. You can place them within a simple wooden or metal frame to ensure structural stability. This geometry ensures that as air is pulled through the centers, it is compressed immediately. The increased air pressure forces the molecules to interact maximally with the wet clay walls. If you want to automate the system, you can place a small fountain pump at the base. A small 12-volt pump placed in a reservoir at the bottom is the perfect choice for this. You run a plastic manifold from the pump to the top of the stack to distribute water. This pump slowly drips water over the entire stack, keeping the clay saturated at all times. By connecting this pump to a small 20-watt solar panel, you create a real miracle. You have created a self-regulating machine that functions without any human intervention at all. As the sun gets hotter, the panel provides more power to the water pump automatically. The pump works harder, and the cooling increases exactly when you need it most during the day. This is the beauty of combining modern technology with ancient and long-standing wisdom. For those looking for a more professional or industrial-scale installation of this system, Ant Studio in New Delhi, led by Monish Siriparapu, offers specialized design services for this. They have evolved the beehive from a single experiment into a modular system for buildings. These modules can be integrated directly into the facades of large, modern, high-rise buildings. While they are based in India, their work has sparked a massive global movement of makers. Architects and makers are adapting these terracotta modules for different local climates everywhere. If you are looking for hands-on training to master the integration of these sustainable systems, organizations like the Center for Science and Environment in India provide regular workshops for students. In the United States and Europe, permaculture institutes provide knowledge on passive cooling techniques. You will learn about vernacular building techniques and how to apply them to your daily life. The beehive cooler is a 4,000-year-old answer to a very modern and pressing problem. It shows us that we don't have to be trapped by the power grid for comfort. By using the way water moves through porous clay, we can effectively cool a whole home. For the price of a few pots and a small pump, you have a great solution. Many solutions we talk about on this channel were marginalized because they weren't profitable enough. If you find this sort of knowledge valuable, then subscribing and sharing is the best way. That is the best way to ensure that this sustainable knowledge spreads to everyone who needs it. And if you want to see how this same principle of evaporative cooling saved many lives, Watch the video on the off-grid fridge that changed the lives of people in Nigeria. That video will give you a deeper insight into the power of simple and effective solutions. We are standing on the threshold of a revolution in design thinking and survival strategies, where natural materials and basic physical laws become the key to our common future. Start changing your living space today by using what is available right beneath your feet. Now let's dive into the technical details you need to note when building the system at home. First is the choice of clay, because not all ceramics have the same permeability for water. You should check the porosity by dropping a few drops of water on the surface and observing. If water beads up and rolls away, that pot was fired at too high a temperature or contains impurities. Traditional red clay is usually the ideal choice for capillary action and mechanical durability over time. Next is the support frame design to withstand the weight of dozens of pots when fully saturated. A galvanized steel or moisture-treated wood frame will prevent rot or rust in the wet environment. The spacing between clay tubes needs to be calculated to optimize airflow and effective surface area. Regarding the irrigation system, consider using a simple water filter before water enters the pump unit. Minerals in hard water can build up over time and clog the tiny pores on the clay surface. Periodic cleaning with a diluted vinegar solution will effectively dissolve these mineral deposits for you. Now let's look at the economic calculation when comparing this system with traditional air conditioning. An average AC unit consumes about 1,000 to 2,000 watts of electricity per hour. Meanwhile, the 12-volt pump for the beehive system only consumes about 10 to 20 watts total. After 10 years of operation, the electricity money you save could be enough to buy a small car. The maintenance cost of terracotta is nearly zero because it has no complex mechanical parts or gas. You only need to replace the cheap pump every few years if it encounters unexpected technical issues. For humid tropical climates like Vietnam, this system needs a bit of adjustment to achieve efficiency. You can combine it with a high-capacity exhaust fan to force the airflow through the tubes faster. Placing the system where natural drafts are strongest will help optimize water evaporation for cooling. In temperate regions, you can design the system as modular units that can be disassembled in winter. This prevents cold air from entering the house and keeps the family's living space warm and cozy. Another solution is to install glass panels to turn it into a passive thermal wall for heating. The science behind terracotta is not just physics, but a deep understanding of the living environment. We are moving closer to building self-regulating and sustainable homes for the future of our planet. Many young architects today are integrating beehive walls into modern villa designs and public spaces. It is not just a cooling device, but a unique and impressive architectural artwork for any building. The rawness of clay brings a sense of closeness to nature and peace to the human soul. Light passing through the beehive holes creates beautiful shadow effects at different times of the day. Imagine sitting in a cool room with the scent of damp earth after a refreshing rain shower. It is a luxury living experience that no modern air conditioning system can provide for users. To start this project, look for local pottery shops and ask for raw terracotta material. Supporting local pottery artisans is also a way to preserve traditional cultural values and crafts. You can design the shapes of the clay tubes according to personal preference to create a mark. Some have experimented with triangular or square shapes and achieved very positive results for cooling. However, the circle remains the optimal shape for creating vortex airflow and the Venturi effect. Don't hesitate to experiment and share your results with the green technology community online today. Human creativity is infinite when we are connected with correct and useful knowledge and tools. We have the right to choose how we live and how we interact with the planet's resources. Your small step today can contribute to the collective effort to protect the global environment forever. Spread this message of sustainability to friends and relatives to take action together right now. We don't have to sacrifice comfort to protect the earth if we know how to do it smartly. Developing countries can leverage local material advantages to develop green economies for their people. This is a great opportunity to reduce dependence on expensive and toxic fossil fuel energy sources. The poorest communities can also access cool and clean air thanks to this terracotta technology. It brings fairness in enjoying basic living conditions for all citizens, regardless of their income. In the next part, we will analyze detailed technical drawings for a large-scale integrated system. You will see how high-rise buildings integrate this wall as part of the main load-bearing structure. The combination of modern building techniques and classic materials is creating a new architectural trend. Prepare paper and pen to note down important parameters for your upcoming big sustainable project. We will start by examining how a terracotta wall can bear the structural load of a building. In modern designs, architects no longer view terracotta as just a decorative outer shell. They're calculating ways to turn these beehive modules into part of the load-bearing facade system. The combination of reinforced concrete frames and clay cores creates a highly sustainable hybrid. Terracotta tubes are stacked to form a tightly interconnected and stable structural network. This helps reduce the amount of industrial building materials needed for the entire large project. Thermally, this wall acts as a giant air filter for the entire urban microenvironment. It not only cools, but also traps fine dust and harmful impurities in the breeze passing through. For office buildings, this system helps create a stable and fresh indoor microclimate. Managing circulating water within the scale of high-rise buildings is an interesting challenge. Architects use gray water filtration systems to reuse water for clay cooling processes. Water from showers or hand washing is filtered and fed into the beehive system's reservoir. This process creates a closed water use life cycle and is extremely resource efficient. Smart sensors are installed to monitor the moisture of each clay module in real time. When an area becomes dry, the pump automatically activates to replenish water immediately. This ensures that cooling performance is always at its optimum level without wasting any drops. Aesthetically, terracotta walls bring a vibrant, organic beauty to the urban landscape. Instead of lifeless blocks of glass and steel, we have surfaces that breathe with Mother Earth. This change has a positive impact on the psychology of people living and working inside. Studies show that environments close to nature help reduce stress and increase productivity. Now let's talk about the impact of this technology on global climate change. The refrigeration industry is currently one of the largest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions. HFC refrigerants have a global warming potential thousands of times higher than CO2 gas. By replacing air conditioners with terracotta, we are directly eliminating this significant hazard. Reducing electricity consumption also means reducing pressure on coal and oil-fired power plants. Every home using a natural cooling system is one step closer to the net zero goal. We cannot continue to solve the heat by making the planet even hotter than it already is. The rise of open-source green technology is breaking the monopoly of large corporations. Maker communities on social media are sharing thousands of technical drawings for free. Anyone with an internet connection can learn how to build their own cooling system today. This democratization of technology empowers people living in impoverished areas globally. In the slums of India or villages in Africa, terracotta is changing lives every day. Children can study in cool spaces without fear of noise or rising electricity bills. The health of the elderly is protected from the increasingly frequent record heat waves. This is the true meaning of human-centered technology that we have long pursued. For this system to be more widely adopted, we need to change the mindset of regulators. Building codes need to be updated to accept modern natural ventilation systems. Green building certification should prioritize nature-based solutions like terracotta. Architects need formal training in passive cooling techniques from the very beginning. The combination of indigenous knowledge and computer simulation will create new breakthroughs. We can accurately predict airflow and cooling efficiency before a building is even constructed. Thermal simulation software helps optimize beehive shapes for each specific climate zone. The future of cooling is no longer white plastic boxes mounted on your walls at home. It is breathing walls and living structures that blend with the laws of nature. You are a part of this change when you start to care and learn about these solutions. Try starting with a few small terracotta pots on your balcony this afternoon. Feel the cool breeze and the scent of damp earth drifting into every corner of your space. You will realize that nature always has great answers ready for every problem. The only thing we need to do is humbly listen and learn from the simplest things. Change begins with your own awareness of the simplest materials surrounding us. Share what you have learned with those around you to spread sustainable knowledge together. Every terracotta pot you place is a brick, building a more sustainable future for us all. We don't need expensive solutions to save this planet right now at this very moment. We only need understanding and respect for the natural laws that are already available to us. Communities in Southeast Asia and Latin America are starting to adopt this model widely. They are proving that low technology does not mean inefficient or backward in any way. On the contrary, it is the peak of sophistication, solving problems with ultimate simplicity. The terracotta wall not only cools the air, but also cools the heated temper of the city. It reminds us of our origins from Mother Earth and our inseparable bond with nature. In the near future, our cities will be covered with patches of breathing walls everywhere. The sound of trickling water and the scent of damp earth will replace the noise of AC units. It is a beautiful vision where humans and technology coexist peacefully with the natural world. To achieve that, we need the courage to break old patterns and rigid industrial mindsets. Don't let electricity bills and plastic boxes define the quality of your daily life. Create fresh air for your family yourself, using raw materials and basic physics. The satisfaction of seeing a DIY system work is an invaluable reward for your effort. It awakens the creative instinct and the ability for self-reliance in every human being. Terracotta beehive technology proves that progress is not always about increasing complexity. Sometimes true progress is going back and perfecting what our ancestors left behind for us. We are inheriting the legacy of Persians and Egyptians to solve modern climate change. This is a race against time to protect the living environment for future generations. Be a pioneer in your community by installing a green cooling unit this weekend. Every small effort has great value in reducing our global carbon footprint significantly. If you need support, seek out international forums on sustainable architecture and DIY. There are thousands of experts ready to guide you through this project from the first steps. We are building a borderless knowledge network for the common goal of all humanity. Don't forget to follow the latest updates on improved versions of this beehive system. Scientists are still researching to further increase surface area and evaporation rates. The development of new ceramic materials could bring unprecedented performance in the future. We are standing at a new chapter in the history of architecture and cooling technology. Thank you for joining us on this journey to discover this amazing natural solution. Your support by subscribing and sharing is the motivation for us to keep searching. We will constantly introduce forgotten sustainable technologies to the modern world. Review the important parts if you want to start building your own system today. Detailed manuals and technical drawings will be attached in the video description below. Let's create a cooler and greener world for all of us to live and thrive in. The power is in your hands and in the simple clay particles right beneath your feet. Start now and don't wait for anyone to give you permission to live more sustainably. A breathing home is a happy home, filled with positive energy and natural vitality. We will see you again in the next videos about unique and effective survival solutions. The green future is waiting for us with bold ideas and persistent perseverance today. Goodbye, and keep your living space cool in the most natural way possible for your health. The world will change when we change how we look at the simple materials around us.